Hello and welcome to my channel. I am Der Rote, and with this video I want to start a series where I'm gonna be playing games in Chinese. Whether it's with Chinese as the original language, or like in this case, with a Chinese translation. So, the thing is that Halo Combat Evolved didn't get a mainland Chinese translation. It only got its translation from Taiwan, and that is mainly because back then when it was released, it was almost impossible to release a gaming console in China, and therefore it could only be released in Taiwan. Thus, of course, it also got Taiwanese translators and a Taiwanese dub. And there are some differences in a Chinese dub and a Taiwanese dub, and we'll get to them. I mainly want to make these videos for learners of Chinese, whether if you're just curious about what are the differences between the Chinese and the Taiwanese version of games, or if you're just curious about how Chinese sounds like in video games. But if you're not a learner of Chinese and you're just here for the game, or if you're just curious, like I said, how this game sounds like in Chinese, you're welcome anyway. So, what are the differences between the Taiwanese and the Chinese version? Well, one thing you can already see probably is that in Taiwan they are using traditional characters, different than in China, where they're using simplified characters. I'll be sticking to the traditional characters for now. In my opinion, you have to be able to read both of them anyway. Whether you go to Taiwan or to China, it doesn't matter. You will see both of them in both places, so you still have to be able to read both of them, although you can choose which one to write. At least that's my opinion. A Taiwanese and a Chinese version, you can kind of compare that to British and American English. So a big difference, of course, is the accent. And if you're just a learner of English, right at the beginning, you probably really have trouble understanding the difference between British and American English, but after some time it becomes so obvious which one is which, and it's kind of the same here too. After some time you'll understand the accent difference, although it's not just the accent. It's also just like in British and American English that some words can be different. For example, the word football, that has two very different meanings in both places, and we've got similar things too in Taiwan and in China, that words can be completely different, and we'll get to some of them, especially when it comes to military words. You'll see. And then, of course, Chinese is a tonal language, and some of the tones can be different in both places. For example, the word for danger, which is or dangerous, which is 危险 in China, and 危险 in Taiwan. So the 危 or 危, sometimes those tones can be different. And in Taiwanese translations, they will always stick to what is considered standard in Taiwan, not in China. And I'll point out some of them when I hear them. And my commentary will be in English, although I'll read stuff out loud in Chinese when I see it, when it's important. Like here in the main menu, we've got 战役, so the campaigns. Let's do it. Let's go to Halo C, and there we've got 继续游戏, so continue the game. 快速开始, so quick start, and 任务, so the missions. That's what we're gonna do. The Pillar of Autumn, our first mission. So the 摘要, or 摘要, I think. So the overview. I'm gonna read it out slowly. 当新盟军队登上您的军舰时，务必要安全的逃离. So yeah, already the first word. No, the second word, 新盟, which means like the Star Alliance. So that's their translation for the Covenant. So when the Star Alliance troops are boarding your ship, you have to find a safe way to escape. we're gonna be playing on Legendary, 传奇. Just to have a look. The others are called 简单, so easy, 正常, normal, and 英雄. So hero, usually 英雄 means hero, but it can also be heroic, like in this case. Yeah, and then 传奇. No skull activated, so not 开启骷髅头, so no skull. And then 开始. And I should also mention I will be playing in the old graphics. I just prefer them. I think it's just a matter of taste. I don't know. For Halo 1, I kind of prefer the old graphics.
Cortana，我只需要知道，摆脱他们了没有？
我想我们都知道答案。
我们进行了一次盲目的跳跃，他们怎么
会先到这里？西蒙的船舰一直都比我们快。至于从瑞奇就一路追踪我们，那是因为在光速之下，我们有什么可以选择的行动。
我们一直在黑暗中进行，不是吗？
在我们减速之前，任何人都可以看见我们在此空间里划破的洞。他们已经在行星的另一边等着我们了。
那么我们目前的处境如何？
我们的战机正在清除他们最后一架侦察巡逻机，情况不严重。但是我侦测到好几个 CCS 级战斗群的接近信号，每个战斗群都有3艘大型船舰，大约在90秒之内就会把我们团团围住。
好吧，走着瞧吧。战舰进入 A 级战斗警戒，所有人员就战斗部署。
所有人吗？
所有人。还有 Cortana。
嗯？
给我们的老朋友来点热烈的欢迎场面。
我已经开始了。所有战斗人员注意，立刻就战斗部署。第5排守住11号甲板上的气闸，第14排到 C14护岸跟第22战术排汇合。
你们听到广播了，动作快！
这不是演习，重复，这不是演习。
弟兄们，我们把这些鬼东西带到了这个不毛之地，不让他们肮脏的魔爪伸向地球。但是也碰巧发现了一些他们迫切渴望，甚至不惜互相残杀也要得到的东西。弟兄们，我不管那是什么怪机器，还是个大呼啦圈，反正不能让他们得到。他们可以得到的，只准是一肚子铅弹跟1尺他们自己的鲜血，用来淹死自己。是不是，弟兄们？
是，长官。
当然对。大家出发，快跑前进！
所有人员注意，我们马上就要再次接敌，即将在外部和内部接战。
想要看清楚星盟鬼脸的新弟兄，你们的运气来了。
哇哦！好了，把它解冻吧。好，让低阶系统上线。30秒内破除容器。战！5秒内烧断销子。
快，赶 快逃离这鬼地方！
立刻向防御阵地 A 到 S 报道。侦测器显示，来犯的西蒙正在试图接驳登舰载具，待命驱逐登舰者。
And there we are. So don't worry if you cannot follow what they're saying. Like you really don't have to understand everything they're talking there. It's mainly about getting a good impression of what Chinese in video games sounds like, and specifically Taiwanese version in video games. Ooh, that's shaking a lot. So as you can already hear, probably the main point is the accent difference between China and Taiwan. And in this version, they are speaking what is considered standard in Taiwan. So usually when you go to Taiwan or southern China, people will not say zhi and shi. They will say zi and si. Some voice actors do this in this game too. And we'll get to that. But most of the time, as you could already hear, they will say zhi xing, like zhi instead of zi. There, that's what I mean, 注意. Not 注意. 应战 instead of 应战. It's like a lot of people in colloquial language will say 应战, and sometimes even like high officials, sometimes even politicians in southern China and in Taiwan. But as you can hear, yeah, most people will use standard, like this one, 这边 instead of 这边. And he goes flying off. Wally, and he flies. No, 去死吧 Die. Yeah, they will say that a lot in this game. And this guy here, that speaks pretty southern, you'll hear it.
长官，舰长要你立刻到剑桥去，最好跟着我。
最好跟着我。Follow me instead of 跟着我。救救我 ！Save me!
士官长，小心敌人。那就是啦。
Now the word they're using for the Master Chief, that is 士官长. That's what I mean. That's a Taiwanese military word. In mainland China, I think that's called 军事长, but I'm not 100% sure on that. Then let's hear what they have to say.
Kiss 舰长，
真高兴看到你，士官长。任务不太顺利，口套纳已经尽全力了，但是我们根本没有机会。
十几艘优势的西蒙主力舰对付一艘翡翠鸟级的巡洋舰，在这种劣势下，我很满意击毁那是4艘敌舰的战果。睡得还好吗？
还算好，幸亏不是你在驾驶。
那你还是想念我喽？
报告。
那一定是他们哪一批登舰部队？我猜是反物质炸药。
长官，主炮火控制系统离线。
舰长，这座炮是我们最后的防御武器。
既然如此，我现在引用科尔规则第2条，下达秋空之盾号弃船命令。这表示你也在内，科尔塔纳。
那你要做什么？与舰共存亡？
基本上，你知道我们发现的那个物体吗？我要把秋空之盾号降落在它上。
我不想不礼貌，长官。这场战争已经造就够多死去的英雄了。
谢谢你关心科尔塔纳，但这不是我能决定的。规则很清楚，绝不允许舰上的人工智慧被毁或被俘。这表示你一定要离舰。锁定一些紧急着陆区，把它们上载到我的神经网络，然后整理你自己，准备进行硬体传输。
遵命，长官。
这是你进来的地方，士官长。把口塔纳带下这艘舰，保护他不受到敌人的伤害。他一旦被俘，敌人就会得知所有的事情：武力部署、武器研发。地球，
我了解。
秋风之盾号会继续闪避动作，直到你启动降落程序为止。不管你听不听，我建议由我的子程序来处理最后进入。
了不起，科尔塔纳，谢谢。准备好了吗？
拉我一把。
祝你好运，士官长。
祝你好运
你
，Good
的
luck。
结构跟秋风之盾号也没什么太大差别。
不要再出什么怪点子。
我没有装填弹药，小伙子。离开时你必须找些弹药。
Okay, then we're gonna find some ammo. One thing you probably already heard and saw is that sometimes they translate names and sometimes they don't. In this case, like Cortana and keys. And it's actually pretty rare to see them using the alphabet. Usually they will still use Chinese characters to write foreign names. But in this case, they are writing them with the alphabet. But they still translated the Pillar of Autumn to 秋风之盾号, so the Pillar of the Autumn Wind, because just Pillar of Autumn would sound a bit less poetic.
我们必须在星盟彻底摧毁战舰前离开。
Yeah, just don't make me hurry. And then the how at the end, that's just the serial number or something like that. Well then, let's see if we can find some ammo. You can already see it on the ground. No, you cannot. Well, there it is. 我需要帮忙. I need help. And one thing to say about the grunts. Usually in Taiwan, they will not use a lot of 二话. So, 在这儿 or 那儿 or 一点儿 or 什么事儿. They will say 什么事 or 一点 or 在这 or 在这里 or 在那 or 在那里. But the grunts are kind of an exception. They use a lot of 二话, so like 敌人就在那儿 or 原来你在这儿. You'll hear that. 射击. Wow, that was a pretty good grenade. 来试试啊. Let's try it. Or you want to have one? Whoa, whoa. What's wrong with you? 抱歉. Sorry. There's probably one Marine who shot the other one. That's happening a lot. Because they just cannot aim. That looks comfortable. 我看见你喽. I can see you. Yeah, me too. There he is. Bye. Wow. That went surprisingly well. Well, let's hope we can hear the Marines say, 我还没结婚啦. That's something they say sometimes, like, I'm not married yet, if they're under fire. The Marines, some of them speak, like, in a very southern accent, some of them don't. But, let's see if we can hear some of them later. Because they're pretty... 射击. Again, that's like, the... In China, that would be 射击. In Taiwan, that is 射击. So the 击 is like to attack or to hit. And also in the word like 攻击 or 攻击 in China. That's something they use a lot. And you will hear that soon too from them.
怎么回事？有东西击中我们吗？快走，回到去找。
And he said 击中, so hit, instead of 击中. And wow! 立刻在敌人在这儿. So yeah, the enemy is there. Or here. 他们在附近哦. There's something, there's all at the end of a sentence. There's 杂碎. It's good to remember that word. They're going to use that a lot. There's all at the end of a sentence what the Marines are using. That's something you can use that in China as well, but most of the time, at least if it's a video game, then it's used by little girls or usually women with a high voice pretty often. But in Taiwan, it's kind of like everyone uses it. The only exception to that most of the time in video games and translations are people who want to sound majestic, because all at the end of a sentence, 他们在附近哦, it just sounds colloquial. So people like, yeah, so people like the Covenant in Halo 2, for example, the elites, they will never use that. Or if you're playing StarCraft 2, the Protoss, they are also never going to use that. But it doesn't matter if it's a little girl or if it's a cigar smoking pirate, or no, not pirate, I mean cowboy or something like that. Doesn't matter, everyone's going to use all at the end of a sentence. And let's continue. Oh. 在这里。那是我的。Okay. 在这里 that's what I mean. In China, very often they will say 在这儿. Oh, that was a good one. 大家蹲下 so everyone get down. You should definitely remember that if you play this game in Chinese, because then they will throw a grenade. What is that? That's very colloquial. So how are you? So how are you guys doing? Well, whatever. Oh yeah, and I'm gonna definitely stick to this weapon, the 电讲枪, so the plasma rifle, which, yeah, it's kind of a literal translation. Wow! 射击. Did I get him? 不是我 Not me! So I'm gonna find that little shit. 他就是啦. Yeah, again, there you could hear 大家蹲下 and I gotta get out of here. 那是什么? Yeah, that's what I mean. Something. Oh god, that's not good. Woo, that was close. Yeah, and my Marines are out of the game now. Oh god, that was horrible. Yeah, that's what I mean. Some of the Marines will speak very southern 那是什么 instead of 那是什么. Now I've got to find some med pack. Oops. That was not on purpose. Okay. Oh god. I didn't want to make this so close. 敌人就在那儿. Again, a lot of 二话 from the grunts. And some shield. The 超能护盾. 护盾 is always like shield. Can also be used for a physical shield, like something you hold in front of you. Right out! Quick, run away! Let's get out! Kinda. Anyway, I'm not looking forward to this part. 掩护射击, so cover fire, basically. Ow! Okay, you're gone. And you guys are gone. 搞什么? What's that? Again, 掩护射击. Oh god. 撤退. Retreat. Although it's pretty rare that even one Marine surviving at this part. 退回撤离站. So get back to the evacuation point. Ooh! Went better than expected. Usually I have a lot of trouble at this part. Well, and sadly, I cannot translate what the elites are saying to you, but I can imagine you can all understand their language anyway. Let's do that a bit sneaky. And bye. Wow, that was a good one. Just one grenade for the whole group. Where's some of... 找到一个啦! I found one. Yeah, this whole part here is a bit hard. 在这里. Yeah, they don't always use 二话. Sometimes they also say 在这里. That always sounds good if you hear that. 最近的撤离站. So the closest evacuation point. 白。
全体操作人员，我是舰长，准备弃船。各战斗组驱逐敌舰艇，直到后勤人员离开。完毕。
救生舱要发射了，我们得快点。
祝大家好运。So good luck to everyone.
西蒙正在摧毁救生舱，他们显然不想让我们到那个新环带。
No, they don't want us to get to this ring.
警告，防爆门要关了。我们必须利用船上的维修通道，盯着导航点，它可以带你到出口。
警告 is a very common word, like a warning or attention or careful, something like that. It will appear in video games a lot. So, yeah, better remember that. Now, let's try to get them from behind. Again, 准备撤离. So, ready to, or prepare to evacuate. What are some other differences? Yeah, very often you have like differences in the sentence final particles. Like we already had like in all. But there are other final particles like la, but that is common in both places, like la and lo. But then you also have lei or eh. What the Marines are saying a lot to, for example, when you shoot someone, they will say, "Eh, 我先看到eh." So I saw him first. So there's eh at the end. You can always use those particles in mainland China too, but it will sound a bit Taiwanese. I mean, just as you can also speak American English in England, no problem. People will understand you, but it sounds different than people around you, of course. Oh god, that was terrible. No, that's not good. 防御阵, so the 阵线, the 防御阵线, the how to say? Oh, that's not good. The defense line. 我的老板啊，快逃! So our boss, let's run.
看样子西蒙想要趁你不注意的时候逮住你。
Yeah, and this part I don't really get. Sometimes he survives that like this, and sometimes he doesn't. Yeah, it's a bit strange. Oof. Yeah, sometimes in this game you can survive explosions and sometimes you don't. At least the enemies. Nah, whatever. We're almost done and we didn't die even once. That's surprising. Yay! Bye. One last fight over here where the Marines are gonna get their asses kicked if I'm not interfering. Like this. 你躲不掉的. You cannot hide. Well, the Marines cannot hide anyway. They cannot do anything except talk a lot of trash. But that's good for me. Then I've got a lot to translate. Again, 掩护射击, so cover fire. Oh, that's not good. So many enemies. Did I get one? Oh yeah. Got the whole bunch.
上部结构的损害太严重了，不知道秋风之盾号还能挨几下。
Oh yeah, and one thing here, just wanted to show the this weapon. That's the 电桨手枪. So just like the handgun, so the plasma handgun in Chinese, and this one is just 电桨枪. So yeah, one's the plasma rifle, the other one's the plasma handgun. I find this character for pistol always a bit interesting because it can also mean spear. Let's bombard these guys to oblivion. Bye. Oh yeah, you heard there? The Marine threw a grenade and couldn't hit anything again. Usually they only hit themselves.
快，趁它还没发射，赶快上船。
Yeah, I mean, they will usually hit themselves or the player, and that's no good, because then we need a new Master Chief. But we're done with this level, yay!
现在是离开的最好机会。
按下它。
遵命，长官。我们脱离了，保持安全距离。
我们安全了，是不是，长官？我不想死在这个鬼地方。
你看，
那是什么东西啊，上尉？
哪知道？可是我妈降落在那上面。
秋风之盾号中弹了。
我知道，秋风之盾号正在加速 ，Kiss 舰长换成手动了。
大家看上面，这就是了。5秒内进入这个环重带大气层。
你不要坐下吗？
没事。
只能祈求老天保佑了。
And that's where we're gonna end the first video. If you like this, then please let me know. I mean, Chinese is already such a difficult and time-consuming language to learn, then why not have some fun while doing so? And that's what this is there for. So you can learn some Chinese, and while having some fun with video games. Why not? So the next level will definitely be split in a few parts, because that's one of the longer levels in this game. Although there will be longer levels later. But anyway, that's where we're gonna end, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye bye.